Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Nowhere Prophet. I gotta say, I've been thinking about the Convoy deck. I've been thinking about the way creatures are handled in this game. Followers, I suppose, is the appropriate term. If you've ever played a game like Magic or Hearthstone or any of those kinds of things, you probably know you throw away creatures all the time. Not throw them away, they're a resource, you don't want to waste them, but like you exchange them. They're a thing you expend. They are literally expendable. And you do that all the time. You lose creatures all the time. In an average game of Magic, you have like a dozen creatures die, no big deal. The moment names and faces are put to them, though, it really changes. And I know in my brain that these faces are not unique. These are not the faces of people. They are faces of card archetypes. The names are just pulled from a list somewhere in the game files. But like, at the beginning of the last episode, I said, hey, this is an easy part of the game, let's try to stop losing people. Which is not a thing that I would think if I was thinking of these cards as a Magic deck, and we were playing like a Magic tournament. It's just, I think it's really interesting the way that my brain is reacting to this thing that is very similar to many other things that I have done in the past, as though it is something new and different based on such a small change. Anyway, our Convoy deck. We hired some dudes. Let's actually put some dudes in the deck. Our balance of creatures right now is very heavy and expensive, and I think the way we're going to resolve that, rather than cutting the top end, is just fattening up the bottom end. So I like Wild Hands a lot. Obviously, we want to run Mitch, the Dedicated Miner. He seems great. Who else? I don't really know how many cards we want to run, and I don't have an ideal cost curve in mind here. I do like the Black Star Overseer. He seems pretty good. 3 for a 4/4 with upside. Seems like a cool thing. We maybe want to take it easy from here, though. 1 and 2 cost cards, I guess, are a little bit less valuable than they are in some other games because of the fact that you start at 3. Let's run Snitch, and that's 17 cards. Let's leave it as it is now, I think. Yeah, a bunch of my basic assumptions, the assumptions that I have built up over time about deck construction, don't really apply here because of the weird way the systems work. So, we'll learn. We'll figure it out as we go. Obviously, we're traveling toward the food thing. Just before we took off in the early hours of the morning, 2 followers brought Trishna to me. They had caught the prisoner in the night picking through their belongings, and we demand justice. Trishna is a valuable member of the team, and in general, we are about showing mercy here on this particular caravan. We all make mistakes, especially in our youth. Trishna was ordered to never steal again and keep their nose out of other people's belongings. As their punishment, they were to work as a servant for the accusers for the next 2 weeks. That's limited altruism. But I guess we didn't cast her out or kill her, so that's something. In the middle of the night, sentries sounded the alarm. A group of Leper mercs were caught trying to abduct some of our followers. They carried the colors of House Kirk, an infamous slaver clan that dominated the spaceport. We drew our weapons and charged on the devils to protect the convoy. Broadly, anti-slaver. I think our starting convoy hand here is a little on the expensive side. Man, I love Ferocious Chambal. What a good card. And I'd like to use... Maybe we're okay. Black Star Overseer is not really a 3 that you want to play first, but a 4/4 is still strong. We're just gonna... Maybe I'll drop Headshot. Yeah, we probably want less expensive convoy cards at the beginning. And then that is very much not what we got. Okay, so we have Poison Strike, which is a cool card. It's not actually that good in this hand, because we actually have a lot of good fighters here. When this obstacle deals damage to a follower, that follower gains +3/+0. That's interesting. So we might want to put somebody in a position to benefit from that. I think for now we'll just play the Overseer and pass. I was kind of expecting him to get the +1/+0, because it says all friendly followers, not all other friendly followers. But okay. That's fine, he's still a good dude. Enemy has a unit with taunt, gain +2/+0 and overwhelming. Interesting. Well, You are kind of a weird-looking dude. How do we want to deal with that? Obviously, we could just step on him, quick shot, and then play our devoted guard. Our opponent only has 14 health. So one thing I'm going to have to kind of get a grasp of is when it makes sense to just ignore board clearing and focus on the enemy's health, outside of the situation where you have enough on board for lethal, which is like a total no-brainer. It's the real danger of doing that trade is that then I could lose my Black Star Overseer to any random effect. But also, he's not wounded. It's not like it'll be a real death. Alright, we'll just tap you. And then... Oh, right. You know what? I'm fine eating the 2-for-1. Just get that dude off the table. Robust cards are very annoying. Yep, there it is. Well, we got a 2-for-1 and then we gave up a 2-for-1. And then we played our Warlord, who's amazing. What a good job. Well done. Do I want to scrap one of these 2 very expensive cards? We're having trouble building up for coordinated fire, and I would love a nice cheap effect. Okay, that's not a bad one. Probably not going to be super relevant on this guy, on account of if we take damage, it's likely we'll die from it. Ooh, or we'll just get so enraged that we collapse in the sand. Well, feels like that's maybe a smart move. And then throw you down there to prepare some damage. Doesn't really make sense to play Overwhelming unless or Relentless, unless I think they're going to be able to hit for 4. We have seen some effects that hit for 4. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and play Relentless. Let's make you truly terrifying. And then I'm going to hold on to Burst Fire because we're going to be at 7 energy here. So Burst Fire followed by a 3 cost is totally reasonable. Oh, Burst Fire is so good. What an incredibly good play. Take that, tree. I guess I should have played the dedicated miner first. Yeah, it's definitely a small error. I'm gonna actually just resolve the devoted guard here. I guess, hold on. As it stands now, I guess we're probably not really going to be able to feed a kill to anybody we want. Let's put the dedicated miner out. We might be able to make this happen. Right, because when we attack, we could attack into the tree. 4 damage will go through, and then the miner could pick up the rest of the kill. That's an 8-8, but it's not going to be able to stop me from doing the thing I want to do. Check it out. Defend. We did it. Okay, so we attack through the tree to soften the blow a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. We took 2 wounds, which is not ideal. I'm starting to get okay at that. Oh, hey, we leveled up. Or we have enough XP to level up. Yeah, I'll spend the batteries. That's fine. Another Relentless. I would be okay with another Relentless. I would also be okay with Aim Shot. So we have, so far, never learned a card without flipping over 3 cards. I'm kind of curious if anything different happens. Like maybe you get, I don't know, something. No, okay, so there's no reason at all not to look at 3 cards. That's so weird. Why show me 5 face-down cards and then ask me to turn over 3 of them at random? Why not just show me 3 random cards and have me pick one of them, right? Like, there's an extra step there that doesn't actually do anything. Do we want to drop a card? Consistency, etc. But I honestly don't know. I like the damage effects. You know what? I'm going to drop the other Reinforce. We are never playing Reinforce. And it's cool to have cheap general effects and everything. I want to put my Assault Rifle back on. I'm going to put my... Man, maybe I want my Healer's Kit. His healing touch could totally be useful. And we'll plan to just dismantle the assault rifle because burst fire is bananas. That's part of the reason we bought it in the first place, was so that we could dismantle it. So I guess let's go ahead and do that now. View details. Give me that card. Making my deck a little bit more expensive, but I think generally pretty strong. The Outriders stopped the convoy quickly when they saw the rusting tower looming in the distance. As we scouted closer, it was clear from the military garb of the inhabitants that the Raj Guard manned the tower, but it was too late, as we too had been found. A booming voice came from the top of the tower. "You are in the land of the Raj. Reveal yourselves, or we will shoot." Hey, listen, we're just travelers, buddy. We stood up, our hands in the air. The figure on top of the tower revealed himself as a bald man with a prosthetic arm, and from his tower he assessed our convoy. "Travelers? Well, you are using the Raj's road. Proud soldiers have died to protect this road, and you, from beasts and scavengers, you must understand that we require a small toll." I'm worried about chance unlikely here. We could just fight them. Maybe. I guess it's hard to know exactly how tough they'll be. And I don't think... We're about to come up on some food. Let's give them some food. We'll see what happens. The man in the tower looked at our offering and tutted. "That's enough. Let them pass." The guards around us relaxed and happily took the food from us. One even smiled. "Thank you. We haven't eaten for a few days." Now I feel bad. I feel bad that I, made the assumption... You know, I made a certain kind of adversarial assumption there that these were the bad guys. I didn't even think about the fact that standing out in the desert is probably tough for them, too. We came upon the remains of a caravan. Black clouds of flesh-eating insects were feasting on the corpses of what seemed to have been pilgrims. They had suffered grave injuries from energy weapons, perhaps from rusters. We took whatever food they had on them, and then burned their corpses. Seems like the decent thing to do, I guess? Oh, a hidden path. Well, we can't not take the hidden path, so we're not always going to actually get to see all of the map. That's interesting. As much as I want a chance to heal, because we could use a little bit of healing. Let's go check this out. Fierce gunfire erupted along our flanks. We dove for cover and returned fire, willing to stop the unknown aggressors with whatever it took. Because it's bad to get shot. I don't know if you know that. A level 6 Raj Guard elite. Might drop this guy. See if we can't get something else a little cheaper in here. Okay, I don't think this is bad. So we have Healing Touch. It's a shame that the Poison Strike does 1 damage, because I'd really love to use it on the Beast to trade him out. Well, I think it makes the most sense to start with the Wild Hand. And then... I should play the Wild Hand in back. Probably. Yeah. And then I don't think we want to swap anything out here. I think I'm pretty happy with our cards. There's a real good chance that Warrior Monk's getting played here. Different free... Okay. Random follower gains +0/+2. That guy being a 3/4 is a problem. I mean, it's not a big problem. So, we could just blast him instead. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and establish the Warrior Monk. They might be able to get a 2-for-1 going on us, but I think I'm okay with that. And then we'll just attack the character. Or, yeah, let's do damage here. Sorry, you can't. I think I want to just get rid of this. Oh, wow. That's a really powerful card. Holy crap, that's a powerful card. It is wild how powerful that is. Reinforce is way better for the AI because of the way they play. Well, I mean, we're gonna take the efficiency here. That's a good card to draw with a cheapening effect. I am leery of playing our Warlord. That seems dangerous. I mean, Warlord followed by Relentless is pretty good, though. I think I just want to play the Combat Engineer here. Combat Engineer is gonna pick up a 2-for-1, right? Unless something really screwed up happens. They'd have to have a pretty good card, though, to make that be anything worse than a 2-for-1. And it'll keep our keep them off of us for a minute while we try to establish. And if they don't manage to get rid of him this turn, then we have Relentless and Blessed Strength to back him up. We have Healing Touch, which is free. We can hope. Okay, that's a 7/7. That's a concern. I guess we have a solution for it. Okay, there's the 2-for-1. That's fine. I think that is an okay outcome. Alright, so we're at 7. Headshot plus Devoted Guard's not bad. It's entirely possible the Devoted Guard gets killed by, like, a small damage spell plus First Strike guy, but I'm not super opposed to that. Like, that's fine. I think we do have to deal with this guy. I was kind of hoping we were going to be able to just headshot the enemy character, but I don't think that's the position we find ourselves in. I do sure wish I had one more energy, pretty much all of the time. Okay. Ooh, that is a card that's not very good for me right now. Huh. Well, how are we going to deal with this? We could... I was gonna say, we could, like, shoot this guy, then play the Warlord to blow him up, and then give him Relentless, but that doesn't actually get our Warlord out of getting first striked. It's actually a pretty tough position. They're playing a lot of guys really quickly. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to stop the momentum that we're seeing here. Well, okay. We can play the Warlord, charge this guy. So the first strike unit doesn't suffer retaliation damage as long as they have enough damage to kill the target, regardless of it having first strike 2. First strike doesn't work on defense. So, warrior charge here, shot there, and then Relentless on the Warlord means that if this guy wants to fight us, he at least dies. That's not bad, actually. I think I like that. I'm going to play this Warlord in back so that we can play in front of her if she should happen to survive the turn. So we get you. We give you Relentless. Make you big and tough. Shoot that guy, because screw him. And then we're good. I'm going to actually scrap this. They're playing huge guys all the time. Interesting. Do we want to hold off on actually playing this? Probably not. I probably want to establish that armor. Obviously, we have some effects that might... not much you can do about a burst fire. Well, we are definitely in a crappy position here. They have a completely unanswered 5/6. Not just unanswered, but like fundamentally unanswerable. Because everything we play gets killed instantly. I mean, they gotta run out of cards at some point here, right? So, Miner with Blessed Strength leaves us with 4... So we can do like Miner with Blessed Strength in the front row, and then the Infiltrator behind. And that's likely to at least leave us in a position where we have a creature left. He'll be a 6/7, right? Because the Insight. Which will mean But this guy can't just kill him safely. They'll be able to trade a big creature for him, and then have this guy get the finish with the first strike, which means effectively we lose some card advantage. But we can afford to eat some card disadvantage. We just need, we need the board to hold a little bit better. I will say, if we had the assault rifle, dedicated miner, assault rifle, and forward, is pretty good. As much as I like the burst fire, I wonder if maybe I made an error dismantling that thing. And then infiltrator behind, and let's hope that that actually sticks. The follower moves, that unit suffers -2/-0. Okay. Alright, so exactly what we expected. But now we have a 5/3. Oh no, they have, right, a 3/2. So they get the trade. That's not so bad, though. So we have a burst fire to get 2-for-1 on their 2 guys up front, and then we can play out Wild Hand and... yeah, something. I mean, this is not bad. This is not too bad. So we kill 2 guys that are really frustrating. Then Wild Hand plus Beast makes this guy's life really awkward. And I probably want to establish the battlefield healer. I've been assuming that heal all friendly followers by 3 doesn't do anything on guys that are full health. Yeah, okay. It's not 3 extra toughness, it removes 3 damage. And I think I just hold the quick shot. We don't know how we're going to want to use it. Jesus. There's an even better version of burst fire. Okay, that doesn't really accomplish anything. Oh, it accomplishes that. Okay. Well, we just kill their guys, right? And then we can actually do some straight up damage here. Just play all of our other guys, just get bodies on the table. I guess, actually, with the amount of energy I have... well, no, I only have 4 left right now. There's a reasonable chance that I would scrap that guy and draw something we couldn't play. And then coordinated fire is about to be potentially pretty good. Okay, so we want to... we only need to leave 2 people available for the coordinated fire. So we attack and attack. Play Shifty Scavenger in front of you to keep you alive. I mean, obviously playing in front of the beast preserves our damage a little bit better. Yeah, and odds are he's going to die to a targeted effect. In fact, we're going to do this. Now we coordinated fire. Kill that dude. Okay, I'm feeling alright about this. I'm feeling good about this position. Oh, drawn from an empty deck. That worries me. Oh, didn't have anything else. I thought we were going to see a follow-up there. So, we don't have to do anything terribly special here. Bandit Sapper with Fury, or with Blessing, is a pretty aggressive play. But actually, I think I really want it on the Scavenger. So we'll do it like this. I like the Scavenger a lot. And that was a lot of wounds, man. That's just how combat's going to be in this place. Discovered a monastery out here. Well, I hope they'll heal our people, because we really need it. No heal uses. We arrived at a temple of the Tender, a holy place for many believers, surrounded by many buildings. Monks with reinforced robes and the sign of the earthly labyrinth patrolled the streets, showing the presence and might of the Shiramists. Nevertheless, the place was busy, full of pilgrims, believers, and students to the art of healing. The shrine itself was deep inside the complex, hidden behind the healer's building and the many tents of the pilgrims. Let's go talk to the healer. I do not have the money for the good healing. And sometimes we can't come back to these after interacting with them, so I'm worried if I just hit return and go back to acquire more batteries. I should have... Well, I was about to say I should have sold stuff first, but actually there's not a market here. We entered the healing tents to see young healers practicing their craft under the watchful eyes of their stern teachers. One of them turned to us, her finely decorated mask glimmering in the light. Welcome, travelers. Are you in need of our services, or are you here to learn? If it is the former, I hope that you will allow our students the honor to use the opportunity to learn. They do need the practice. Yep, you know how I am about altruism. I'm definitely doing this to help you. 4 wounds and 3 health healed on the Prophet is awesome, actually. Thank you for giving our students the opportunity to practice and continue their study. The teacher clapped, and every student rushed forward to form a line. Multiple students did their best to heal our wounded, and sure enough, everyone was treated. Well, almost everyone. Okay, why is this... It just wants me to notice that I have things. Okay, I have noticed. We're probably going to have to use those fine fabrics pretty soon. We come upon a group of monks wearing long robes, preaching to the people with simple words. They were teaching the pilgrims the ways of the Shramists. As we came closer, the head nun looked us up and down. A question for you, traveler. What do we call the things and people that are unclean? Shoot, I don't know enough about the world to know this yet. I think they are called... Jandai. The nun asked another question. And who has given us the role that we are meant to live by? It's probably the tender? Oh, -1 believer. The nun questioning us gave a disappointed look. Well, we didn't have a lot of believers anyway. A last question. Which of the Trinari holds the moon-shaped sickle to rid the earthly garden of its weeds? That sounds like a harvester to me. Nope, that was the tender. Okay. The nun questioning us glanced toward the temple and shook her head. Well... The nun was clearly confident in her knowledge of the scripture, and motioned for us to leave. The students, too, seemed more interested in returning to their lessons than listening to us flounder. That could probably have gone better. The temple was dominated by a towering statue of the Tender. Bathed in the warm light of candles, she sat cross-legged, one golden hand to her heart and the other 3 holding her tools, the moon-shaped sickle, the luminous shell, and the lotus flower. Many followers came to lay offerings of food at her feet, and to donate batteries to the watching Shiramist priesthood. Banners showing the earthly labyrinth hung from the columns, and the gentle susurrus of prayers filled the hall. We can afford to leave 5 food. This doesn't even change the number of moves we get. The Tender embodies a bit of both of her sisters. She was often a calm and soothing presence, but she could just as well manifest as a terrible storm. We had come so far, thus it was only just and proper to dedicate some food and words of prayer to her. Okay, I like the hope. And I guess there's nothing else to do here, so let's just move on. That's really neat, though, that there are hidden places like that. Ooh, what is this? May find trade goods. Here there is a skilled teacher. Okay, we're going to continue forward. We might end up here and then double back toward whatever that is. The Leper colony, I think. That little thief has stolen again, the accusers shrieked as Trishna was dragged in front of me once more. You know, I really appreciate that there are, there are storylines here. Not all of the events are just kind of, in a vacuum. I'm showing mercy again. I don't care that it may have some serious consequences for us. I tried to calm them down and explain that there would be no punishment today. Yeah, I wonder if that's going to come to a head eventually. A little off the road, we spotted a creek with clear water and bordered by lush fields. Hooray! Water and fruit. That's a ton of food. It was just before sunrise when the guards spotted a small gang of armed thieves in torn Union uniforms trying to steal our supplies. They looked ragged and hungry and wholly prepared to take what they needed. Well, I think we can spare it, honestly. We're going to go down to 27. If we go back, we'll be at 17, then back to here we'll be at 7, so we won't actually have a full 10 food for the travel to the food place. I think what we are learning is that it's very difficult out here for everyone, and we're going to let them have some food. These poor souls looked half-starved, so we let them take from our stores. Few words were exchanged, but they were clearly grateful for our charity, and they spent the rest of the night at our camp. And apparently we took some of them on. Okay. It would be really cool if we discovered some food here at the Leper Colony. I'm really curious, though, about what it is exactly. As we came closer to the sinkhole, we could finally see the expanse of it all. The colony filled with the sick and the downtrodden clinging to the insides of the well. At its heart was the hospice. Here, monks tended to the dying during their final days. Around its heart, the entire colony had sprawled out drastically? First of all, that's not even a word, and secondly, it's definitely not what's written here. Drastically. Smaller, but no less popular than the Holy Palace, was a large bar frequented by those who preferred to drink their way out of despair. The flag of the Blue Devils fluttered over some of the more squat and sturdy buildings. Alright, well, let's explore the bar. A few of us entered the rickety building carved into the wall of the sinkhole. The smell of hookahs, alcohol, and bodies was strong. We garnered a few strange looks from the locals, but the bartender nodded at us, waiting for our order. We bought a few drinks and looked around for a place to sit down. We could sit by ourselves or join some of the patrons. A few spare pillows could be found alongside a small group of veteran Blue Devils drinking quietly, or we could join a larger gathering of what looked like new recruits laughing raucously. I think I want to chat with these veterans, these Blue Devils. The veterans made room for a few of us to sit down. Most of them had seen many battles and had lost the exuberance of the young. They were sharing stories of old battles as another veteran entered the group and shared some news. "Looks like the Juggernaut's back in town," to the laughter of the rest. "I guess no one's getting a job anytime soon." Our look of confusion was noted by a veteran. He's a big guy, leads a great group of fighters. The problem is that he's expensive, he has a short temper, and he does not like being unemployed." Another nodded. "Well, there is always the discount code," and laughed. "I'll tell you what it is if you buy us around." We're not in a place to be engaging in any kind of purchase of services, but I'm still pretty curious. We're going to give him 5 batteries. After buying them each a drink, one of the veterans sidled up to us and spoke carefully. "You need to tell him, 'Akari, what would your mother think, charging that much for a family friend?'" The others laughed and nodded. "He's had one too many fights. He barely remembers who's family and who isn't anymore." One piped up. "I can't tell you how many times I've got a free drink from him by claiming I was his uncle." Having finished the drink, we left the bar armed with our newfound knowledge. Our newfound knowledge that I do not 100% trust. In the hospice, the smell of dying bodies was everywhere. Healers tended to the suffering with water and tea. We also spotted a few of the patients in warrior's dress being treated for gashes and burns. I would really love it if our people could get healed. Okay, we don't have any payment. We asked a few of the healers until we found someone senior enough to talk to. "There's too many of you. For a donation of 40 batteries, I can help you." She waved us off to think about it as she returned to her patients. That's not a think about it number, that's a go the hell away number. We entered the mercenaries' headquarters. From the entrance area, we could see the courtyard filled with armed men and women training or waiting their turn. A rather large and hulking man was standing close to the entrance there, looking at us. The receptionist looked at us with a smile. "Are you here to hire some capable fighters?" "We have the hulking man bounded up to us. "I'm bored of waiting. You will hire me." "Okay." I pulled my annoyed face. "Akari, what would your mother think, charging that much for a family friend?" The man looked confused. "Sorry, I did not recognize. I'm not good at remembering faces." He offered us a new price. "Half price, for a family friend." I don't have anywhere near that." He looked sad and dejected and wandered back into the courtyard. 75 batteries. Man, I sure wonder what happens if you actually can take that option. And then, sadly, we do not have the ability to trade out any of our stuff. I mean, let's go ahead and share this. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit of an ugly one. An alarm from our sentries woke the convoy. It seemed that someone had stolen from us during the night. That person had clearly known where our stores of food and batteries were. And when we looked around, Trishna was nowhere to be seen. Also, Renja was wounded. Well, Renja has a personal stake in this. I will track down the thief myself. The tracks were hard to spot, but we eventually caught up to Trishna, hiding in a small ravine. Surrounded by members of our convoy, Trishna came out, hands raised high. We quickly took back the goods they had on them, though some must have gotten lost during the chase. Well, welcoming Trishna back to the convoy seems a little extreme at this point. We can't anymore. As much as I love you in combat, we just can't with this anymore. I mean, we're doing a very exaggerated version of forgiveness here, though. Like, we're very committed to this idea of altruism and everything. I'm gonna welcome Trishna back to the convoy. Other people in the convoy may have feelings about that, but we're gonna see what happens if we are unerringly forgiving here. Many question my decision. How can you ever trust Trishna again? Who here has not made a mistake before? The protests subsided, but I knew that it would still be a topic around the fire when I wasn't in earshot. Okay, that's pretty bad. That's, like, really pretty bad. We don't have enough goods, right? We don't have any goods to raise hope. So, I guess we're going to see what happens here. We're about to get some food. Hopefully going to get food will provide us with some hope. Overnight, a few of our own had deserted us. Losing faith in the crypt, they had slipped away, trying to make it on their own. The road headed past the ruins of a larger settlement, the houses already decayed to a point where they were barely visible under myriad trees and vines. On the former town's outskirts, we were greeted by a grim band of armed locals. They claimed they had cleared the road for our convenience and demanded a tribute. Well, I'm not doing tribute right now, but I will appeal to their generosity. I've been doing so much good in the world. Mostly I've been doing good for this one, for Trishna here. But probably you've heard stories about how nice I've been to her. We told them about our journey and asked if they could let us through. After a short debate, they nodded and let us pass. Crossing the road, we spotted the tracks of a herd of salta birds. These large, flightless herbivores were excellent hunting game. We should definitely hunt. It looks like Kalpa knows a thing or two about a beast. After a few hours, our hunting party returned with some meat and other spoils. I was hoping that a successful hunt would provide us with some hope. We were just setting up our camp when a small group of monks approached our perimeter with heavily burdened pack animals and an escort of armed guards. The ornamentation on their robes was fashioned after the patterns found in rusters and other intelligent machines. They were clearly followers of the machine. "Curious to meet you," said a smiling elderly machinist. "Can we sit with you? Maybe we have something to share or trade." "Yeah, 5 food is an acceptable cost, I think." We allowed them into our camp. As they sat down, we made them welcome and shared our humble meal with them. We chatted at length, sharing stories of the crash and learning from each other. After everyone had eaten and the conversation wound down, the priestess spoke again softly. "Let us give you something in exchange for the food you served us. A few batteries, maybe." "I accept your batteries." Wow, that's more than a few batteries. Okay. I mean, we'd better go straight to the exit. This is looking ugly, though. Overnight, a few of our own had deserted us, yeah. Okay. Market. Active market. We need... Shoot. Well, let's sell this. We really need something that gives hope. I mean, obviously we're buying food. It's a shame we can't buy more. Oh no, we can. This is only 26 batteries. Yeah, we will buy all of your food, please. That's the buy button. This says buy. It's not the buy button. Let's go meet the teacher. Alright, that's fine. As much as I would love to have done a thing there, we really, really needed that food. Because there's still more game left after this map. So, what can we do about our... No, everybody's wounded. We cannot pull out cards to become less wounded. Well... This is grim. This is a grim time. We might need the defender, even though the defender will die when played, almost certainly. We might need the +0, +3 that they provide to people for other people to survive. We are gonna, like, lose people. Alright, almost everyone is wounded, and I'm in terrible shape. A small group of armed Shiramist Crusaders, the symbol of the earthly labyrinth prominent on their clothes, had put up a roadblock. What looked to be their leader stepped toward us. "I have heard of your caravan, and I have come to bring you the light of the Trinari. Do not fear, only the devil operators will be burnt by it. With these words, he brandished a small device and turned it on, letting its light sweep across the convoy. As soon as the light touched me, I could feel its pull as it reacted to my technopathic aura. A small spark shot from me to the device, and it shorted out. Well, shoot. Literally everybody's wounded. When the enemy plays a leader card, draw a convoy card and reduce its cost by 2, and he has 5 charges of that? That sucks. That's so extremely good. Yeah, I'm okay with this hand, I think. The battlefield healer is really good. So we got an ammo cache. But if I play it, he's going to get our cheap guy. I kind of think I want to play Wild Hand Defender, and then Battlefield Healer is a thing for next turn, maybe? As much as I would like to play the ammo cache here, I think we got to get bodies out. We got to get in damage position and quickly. Do I want to spend a heal? My one heal? I think no, not yet. Okay, that's a big dude. Also, he just gave us that thing, which was nice of him. Well, we could give one of our guys Poison Strike. I don't love it, obviously. But we don't have another way of killing him, and he's a problem. How does barrier work? The next time this unit would take damage, instead remove the barrier. So we could get him down to 5 health. Yeah, we could get him down to 5 health, burst fire him, and then have the beast finish him off, and that doesn't cost me any actual followers. It does let this guy draw a card. It's a convoy card? Oh, man. Man, filling the enemy's hand with cards. But, like, we have to deal with this guy, right? And then that lets me commit at least a little bit of damage. Yep, man, he's got all this cost-removing stuff. Gain 2 armor. It's pretty bad here. Well, we can play out our whole convoy hand. That'll at least get all of our guys back to full health. I mean, is it worth playing the ammo cache, maybe? Because we could play around it. I'm gonna do it, I think. I know, I'm giving him more cards, but we can get a lot of stuff on the table real fast here. So, sorry, hold on. Sequencing. He remembers to attack. Then we play the Wild Hand. Then we play the Wild Hand. Okay, that's not exactly where I was hoping that was going to go. You should move. And we'll throw up our battlefield healer as well. Everybody back to full health. We've got a little bit more board than we than we ideally would have. We certainly are not going to play defend. Alright, good luck, everybody. Jesus, this guy's cards. He's going to be able to just kill us this turn. And there's nothing we can do about it. Unless we trade off a bunch. So... God, we don't really have... Boy, do we not have the power for what we need to do here. Okay. I just move you out of the way? Yeah. Probably we end up just moving him out of the way, right? So we can trade 3 people for one of these 2 guys. It doesn't actually matter which one. They are effectively, now on the table, the same dude. Yeah, this is really bad. So now he no longer has lethal on the table. Do we just... I mean... we're gonna play our warrior monk, obviously. I can move you out from behind the tree with the intent of poison striking. No sense in healing that guy. There's no sense in spending quick shot. If anything, quick shot's bad here. I'm probably not going to play Merciless. Let's scrap that. Yeah, Coordinated Fire at least has potential value. Step you out in front, and you can just go to that guy's dome, because it doesn't really make sense for you to do anything else. Okay, that's a shame. Dedicated Miner is not good enough. So Coordinated Fire here only gets us 6 damage on each of them. It would give him another card, so he has 10,000 cards in his hand. We can't possibly win this. I'm pretty sure. Alright, you step out of the way. You get poisonous. That again puts them under lethal. I guess at this point it doesn't matter so much about us playing cards because he's already got more cards than he could possibly use for the rest of the match. So we put you down. We burst fire this guy. Attack. And like, yeah, I may as well. Oh, actually, playing the defend right now doesn't harm us in any way because he's at the hand limit. He's just going to be permanently at the hand limit. There's nothing we can do about it. But we've set up a better position now, and we still have the coordinated fire if we need it, which we may. It's looking pretty okay, actually. Oh man. Yeah, so we play, we can move you out of the way so we can play the Shifty Scavenger in front of the ammo cache. I know, moving you prevents the coordinated fire from doing the amount of damage I need. So we're just going to have to not play this guy near the ammo cache. But I think that's fine. We do this, and then we coordinate some fire. Which gives us a whole bunch of extra power on that guy and this guy. And now we're looking at like a pretty serious amount of damage that we could do to this guy's dome next turn. We're on 12 from the table plus 3 from our hand. Plus if we can manage things, I'm feeling okay. Do we want to healing touch somebody? That guy's missing a health, that guy's missing a health. I guess technically you're the more important one. Keep in mind when we shoot this guy will gain... Oh, you monster. Yeah, that's shitty. Well, that means we are absolutely nowhere on getting a kill again. Neural Shiv's definitely interesting. So we could Neural Shiv the 3-5, which gets our big guy to 6-4. We could go... It's tough, man. It's tough to know what to do here. This Enforcer's kind of awkward. If we play him anywhere meaningful... I guess we could just move you and play the Enforcer in your position. We can also just hurl the critter at somebody to die to feed damage to the Shifty Scavenger. But I think like our plan here has to be Shifty Scavenger gets this guy in the face, and then we reestablish board control. So I think we do have to shiv the Taunter. Even though that's gonna... Oh no, we're past drawing him cards now. So that's good. And then if we're gonna kill you, we do it now so as to put another point of damage on. I'm gonna burn this guy. Okay, so now we get you for 8. We've left ourselves in a position where we cannot play big dude, but it's fine. I'm fine with it. And we're threatening next turn, potentially. Like, he's got to be worried. I'd be lying if I didn't think... I'd be lying if I pretended I didn't think things were grim here, though. 6-5 overwhelming. So if he doesn't kill any of our dudes... Okay, we just have lethal. Right? And then shoot you, and somehow we make it through. Shifty Scavenger is massively MVP. The massive MVP of our team. Our Outriders reported that we were only a short distance away from the Union's gigantic home, Pit 9. Oh, hey, one of our guys was talking about that. We passed a heavily fortified checkpoint where we were searched and briefly interrogated by officers of the Fist, the Union's soldiers and enforcers. Then our path descended into the large valley, a broken landscape that looked like it had been devastated by giants with shovels. We made camp on the edge of the large terraces that were crawling with people, ancient rusting machinery, huts, markets, chicken farms, and the remains of the pit's former structures. Looking around, there were several options of where to go from here. Ooh, Convoy unlocked. Sure, we'll find out what that means. So, first things first. All we have are edible oils. They would give Calm Mind. Okay, extra leader card. I think we got to keep them for the hope, though, right? We're pretty thin on hope. So at the market, we don't have much to sell, and we can't afford to buy anything, even if we did sell what we have to sell. Well, I guess let's look around. We can afford to spend food to heal. I think we definitely need to heal followers more than ourselves, although 12 health is... Well, let's start with followers. If we were to heal ourselves for just 6, do I think I would be okay? Because I really do want to... I think we maybe kind of have to do it that way. We did pick up some new people. The next 3 non-drone followers that join your side gain shielded. Yo, that seems great. Isolation Priestess, welcome to the deck. Okay, and then Supplicant. The friendly follower in front of this unit gains Stoic. Why am I not getting a mouse over? There we go. It doesn't have Stoic in the tooltip. That's the word I was looking for. That's the thing I need. The Pariah is not very compelling, especially when wounded. Okay, I'm going to heal followers one more time. And then we're going to heal our leader once, which is... I feel in danger, but I think we had to... Okay, so do we maybe want to play the Pariah? I don't think so. You might be good. It really is hard to tell what Stoic means. But, like, a 4-3 that brawls when it comes into play, that's decent. That's a decent man. And then do we want to play a little bit more? I'm noticing that we're getting, like... Things are getting scary when the enemy plays a lot of big stuff. So maybe we'd be best off playing a little bit more big stuff. Pack leader does seem good. let's run the pack leader. I'm getting a little bit of, like, Mega Elixir issues from some of these cards where I look at them and I'm like, wow, he's so good I wouldn't want to lose him, but he's not any good at all if I don't play him. And I'm gonna not click on our dead. We're just gonna accumulate our dead so we have some idea at the end of the thing how many it was. Alright, let's have a look around. This gigantic construction, like a metal crab that feasted on the land, was the Crane, the political center of Pit 9. The home of the Central Committee and guarded by the Nine's military forces, the Fist. This is not a sentence. Midway up the structure, we could see what used to be the control center and was now the committee's chambers. Let's just hang around and see what's what. We stuck around in front of the building for a bit longer, then an officer told us to leave right away and seek entertainment somewhere else. Okay, well that was not very valuable. The gallows were a large entertainment district with the public execution area at its center. As we arrived, a group of young men, obviously not locals but feral intruders, were being hanged for stealing. They soon dangled in the wind, large signs around their necks that stated their crimes. Wow, well, we're certainly not hiring anyone, so I guess let's just hang out and talk to people. We stuck around for a little while, making the acquaintance of a few locals. They were proud of the Union's rule of law and its egalitarian society, though the now dead people getting hanged nearby also showed the darker side of the Union's understanding of order and justice. We moved on from our camp to the main living quarters on the slopes, a gigantic motley of all housing constructions imaginable. Despite the chaotic appearance, life seemed to have some sort of order here. I am not thinking we have enough food for me to feel comfortable selling it. Let's just hang out. We strolled through the neighborhoods and chatted with some of the locals. They warned us about the barbarians up north and their vile slave caravans. The Union considered itself the liberators of everyone oppressed, except for those guys who needed food. I mean, I guess they've been liberated in a sense. Down in the center of the pit, there were several massive holes, each swarming with workers. These caverns led to the underground mining areas called the Works. There were a few checkpoints, but it was chaotic enough that we could easily sneak past. It is unlikely that I would be able to sneak in, but Devo is maybe better at sneaking? It's hard to tell. I don't know if risky is actually more or less. I assume it's more likely to succeed than unlikely, because otherwise why would this be a special option? I'm just going to ask for work, maybe? I would love to get paid, is the thing. We approached the guards and asked if there was any work to be done. An overseer shrugged. Well, sure, if you've got people hard enough to break and carry rocks, there's always work in the Union. I'm assuming this is just like have people work temporarily, not send them away. The work was backbreaking, extracting various minerals from the mines by hand, some of them volatile or dangerous, always being watched by grim overseers wearing the Union's yellow cog. There were bound to be accidents in the works. Unfortunately, some of us were caught in one. Okay, but we didn't get paid. I thought the whole point of that was that people would probably get injured, but also I would make money. What does work mean? Okay. Frustrating. Okay, level 7 to 10, desert, there's going to be a cool bandit fort. This stronghold will be challenging. Good preparation will be necessary to cross through here. Do we have that? I don't know. I guess it's going to be a complicated process either way. So, Scions of the Dreaming God versus Beasts. We know the beasts have a lot of, like, clawing and scratching and stuff, which hurts. I guess we're going to go this way. Alright, so obviously we're not going to do this run here, but I'm curious. There's another Teacher's Shrine. Firebrand. We don't have any idea what that means. Source for new followers who are Scions of the Dreaming God. There's a village down here, and a bandit fort, and all kinds of fancy loot. Okay, we're probably going to be taking the South Fork. For now, though, we are all done. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to maybe see how this concludes. I'm very curious what the end of a run looks like, provided that we don't, of course, get murdered by Scions of the Dreaming God on the way there. And we'll see you then.